Is Nichole Kapaun, also known as Nikki, and this is my presentation about privilege and oppression. I just want to first start out and thank everybody for a wonderful semester and all that you guys have done to help me understand more about privilege and oppression and the power that we face in this world, and bringing together a bunch of different ideas and stuff. So again, thank you. So the identities I chose was white, woman, and heterosexual, which breaks down into race, gender, and sexual orientation. The reason I chose white is because it's who I am. You take one look at me and you realize, oh hey, guess what? She's white. Like, there's no denying it. I'm very white. And that is just basically this color of my skin. Like, I can't change that. So that was a big one for me. The example I used for that is back in high school, I had offered to take 2 freshman girls down to Kennedy High School, which, if you're familiar with the Denver metro area, is a lower class area, lower class school as well. We were from Columbine High School, which is kind of more of a middle class area. So when we got down there, the girls' boyfriends weren't there yet, and so I told them they were not getting out of my car until the boyfriends got there, where they could get into their car and go from there. I just did not feel comfortable leaving a girl in any area alone at night by themselves. Even during the day, it's kind of iffy with me. So we had been sitting there, and at the time I drove a 2003 black Cadillac Escalade, which was completely blacked out, meaning I had black tinted windows that you could not see in at. My entire car was black, the rims, you name it, there was nothing but black on that car. So the cleaning crew had seen us in the car and called the cops. And the officer arrived and started walking towards my car, and I saw him in my mirror and noticed that he had his hand on his gun. Didn't think much of it, was like, okay, whatever. Mind you, this was back in 2011, and so the shooting cops thing wasn't really a huge issue or situation back then, as it is now. When he had gotten to my car and my door and stuff, I rolled down my window and very nicely was like, hey officer, how can I help you? Something wrong? What's going on here, What can I help you with? And he was just like, hey, told me a story about how the cleaning crew saw my car and thought it was kind of, a little nerve-wracking, unsure of what I was doing out there for that amount of time. So I calmly explained to him why we were there, why we were sitting there, and who we were waiting for, and he thanked me for making sure the girls were safe and told me to carry on, and, didn't really think much about it, never crossed my mind until this class again. Now looking back, I realized that my white privilege had a lot to do with what happened that night, because the minute he saw I was white, he took his hand off the gun. And it makes me wonder what would have happened had I been a different race. Would he have kept his hand on his gun? Would I have been pulled out of my car? Would I have been ordered out of my car? There's a lot of different scenarios that could have happened that night that I'll never know whether or not that would have happened, or, if what happened was based on my whiteness, which I do strongly believe is the case. Simply because of his demeanor. I mean, he leaned into my car, everything was calm and awesome once he saw who I was as a person. So that is my privilege. The second one I chose to write about was my oppression, which was being female. And while I love my family, they have oppressed me as a woman, I think mainly without thinking about it. So when I was younger and started driving, I asked my dad how to change a tire, how to change oils, basic things that everybody should know as with driving a car. My dad simply told me that if I had a flat tire, to either call him, and if he's too far away, he would call one of his tow trucks to come and get me and go ahead and fix all of that for me. And as far as the oil is concerned, he was like, just take it to the shop. No big deal. Don't have to worry about it. Again, didn't think much of it. I had no interest in cars. I thought they were pretty. That was about it. If they weren't pretty, I didn't care one bit about them. So that didn't really cross my mind as being impressive. Same with my fiance when we moved. I said, hey, what can I help with? You know, what can I grab? And he's like, don't worry about it. Us men got it. You go in with the girls and you start unpacking and organizing and putting things in their place. Again, I hate moving. I hate lifting heavy things. So it didn't really bother me. I was like, cool. You know, I'm not strong. I've got this. Like, organizing, that's my thing. So again, didn't have an issue with that. However, looking back, I realized like the moving thing was seen as a men's thing. Cars is seen as a men's thing. And in a way, that's kind of oppressive that they don't even give me a chance to show them that I can do it, that I do understand it. So I can see how that would be oppressive. My last one ended up being a privilege as a heterosexual, which I've talked about this before in class, where I had gone down to Pride Fest about 4 years ago with a bunch of my friends, and I was the only one who was not lesbian or gay. As I said, I'm heterosexual. We had a fun blast, great day. Had gotten on the free mall ride to head back to the light rail, the friends that I had gone with after partying from our friends, and we were able to get a seat, which was awesome. And an elderly couple got on shortly after us, and at the next stop, and the older man had a walker, and they just said, hey, you know, hold on, you know, we can do this, and me knowing that's not right, and you know, you should always give up your seats to the elderly, got up, offered them my seats, and they rudely told me that my parents must be disappointed in me because I was a lesbian and that I would never give them kids, and I kindly had to explain to them that I was actually heterosexual and I was into men. However, that my friends are not heterosexual, but I support their choices in every way. They also said I was going against God, which I kindly told them that God made everybody the way he wanted them to be, so that was irrelevant in her argument. Basically what I saw that day was that I have privilege as heterosexual. I don't have to worry about me and my fiance walking hand in hand, or planning our wedding, or anything like that. Everything is quite simple for him and I, because we are a man and a woman together. And I saw that day what the homosexual community actually goes through, and the type of changes we need to make as a community, because they are severely oppressed, and it was heartbreaking to watch that and see that. So that was my paper. Overall, this class has really changed me. This is my second time taking it. The first time I was stubborn and was like, no, this doesn't exist. I'm not gonna do that. Like, I'm not gonna write, you know, that I'm this or I'm that, because I don't feel that way. But looking back, I realized, like, hey, you know, I was being silly and I need to open my mind. So this class, this semester, with everybody's input and actually putting forth the effort and opening my mind to things, really did help. And I appreciated everybody's like voluntary stuff and what they did for us. And I'm going to continue to open my mind to these types of things and learn more about what's going on in today's day and age. I will continue to learn about the oppressions and the privileges people have and how we can make that change. And what else? As far as knowledge and gaps and all of that, I think there's still a lot to know about. I mean, culturally, I don't know a lot. There are numerous religions out there I don't know much about. I'm agnostic, meaning I do not practice any religion, but I did grow up Catholic. And Catholic is about the only one I truly know about. Even then, I don't really know a whole lot about Catholic because I kind of rebelled against it. I was not community-sized. My grandparents still severely dislike that. However, you know, there's a lot I can learn from myself, and this course is just the beginning of opening my mind and broadening it, and it was a good starting step to kind of lead me into more education in the future and what I can learn, and a good stepping stone to know what to look for and how to make those changes. So yeah, that's my presentation, and I hope you all enjoyed it, and hope you guys had a wonderful semester just like I. And if you're graduating, woohoo! If not and you're close, woohoo! Have a great rest of your summer.